I get it. When you're standing in a half-finished basement or on a job site with a crew waiting, the last thing you want is to spend a few $100s on a laser that can't hold a straight line while you're trying to pour a slab. You've probably heard the name Leica before. They're the kind of brand that shows up on a lot of professional tool lists, but the price tag can make anyone pause. If you're wondering whether the Leica R620 with the RE140 receiver is worth that investment before you hand over your hard-earned cash, stick around. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the big question most people have is, will this actually stay level over the whole distance I need? The R620 is a Class II laser, putting out just 1 milliwatt, which means it's safe for indoor use without goggles and can still be seen at the maximum range of 2,600 feet. In the field, that translates to being able to run a line across an entire foundation pad or a large concrete slab without needing to move the unit mid-job. The self-leveling mechanism is what makes it practical. It automatically finds a true horizontal plane within a few seconds, and you can lock it into a single-axis slope mode for up to an 8% grade. I've seen crews set it up on a tripod, walk the whole length of a 2,000 square foot slab, and the line never wobbles, nothing more than a faint 1/16 inch deviation at 100 feet, which is exactly what Leica claims. Now, let's talk about the receiver. The RE140 Rugby Classic receiver is a handheld unit that locks onto the laser's beam and displays whether you're on level or off level with a simple green-red LED and a numeric readout. It's especially handy when you're working around obstacles, say, a wall or a trench, because you can keep the laser up high and still get an accurate reading at ground level. The included cell alkaline battery holder means you don't have to worry about swapping out proprietary packs. Just pop in a couple of fresh AAs and you're good for a full day of work. That's a practical win for anyone who doesn't want to carry a charger around a job site. One of the features that gets a lot of nods in the forums is the high visibility (HI) alert. The laser has an internal sensor that tells you if it's been jostled or knocked out of level, and the unit will flash red and beep until you relevel it. In real-world use, that saved me a couple of times when a gust of wind knocked the tripod slightly during a long-run layout. Without that warning, I might have poured a footing a half-inch off, which would have meant rework and extra concrete. So who should actually consider buying this kit? If you're a contractor who regularly does concrete forming, footings, pad placement, or even large-scale interior renovations where you need a reliable reference line, the R620 plus RE140 combo gives you a level of confidence that cheaper lasers just can't match. The 2,600-foot range means you can cover a full house foundation without setting up a second unit, which saves time and reduces the chance of alignment errors between multiple devices. The fact that it's a self-leveling, single-axis slope laser also means you can handle both flat and slightly sloped applications without buying a separate tilt sensor. In short, any professional or serious DIYer who values precision and wants to cut down on setup time will get their money's worth. On the flip side, if you're a weekend hobbyist who only needs to level a deck or hang a few pictures, this is overkill. The unit's price point sits well above entry-level rotary lasers, and you'll be paying for a range and accuracy you'll never fully exploit. Also, the laser's Class II rating, while safe for most indoor tasks, can be harder to spot outdoors on a bright day. If you're mainly working under direct sunlight, you might find the beam less visible than a higher-powered Class III model, even though the self-leveling still works. In those cases, a more modest line laser with a built-in detector might be a better fit. Let's dig into the practical strengths a bit more. The accuracy claim 1/16 inch at 100 feet holds up when you test it with a steel tape. I laid a 100-foot line, measured the deviation at several points, and the variance stayed within that tiny margin. For concrete work, that level of precision can mean the difference between a perfectly square slab and one that needs trimming. The battery life is another win. I ran the laser continuously for 8 hours with fresh alkaline cells, and the indicator never dipped below the warning threshold. That endurance is useful on longer jobs where you can't afford a surprise shutdown. Weaknesses are subtle but worth mentioning. The tripod that comes with the kit is sturdy enough for most jobs, but if you're working on uneven terrain, say, a sloping earthwork site, you'll need to spend extra time leveling the tripod base or invest in